Hi, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. So, today I'm going to talk about truth. I have been doing pick a card readings to make me aware of what's going on in the background. And I have learned from past experiences that have been healed to just speak up and say what's happening, to acknowledge what's happening. There was a lot that I wasn't aware of. And I am really forgiving myself in this moment for not being aware, for saying that I calling myself all kinds of low vibrational labels because I did not understand what was going on. However, I'm aware now, and so I am very grateful to be sharing this truth with you guys. So, the readings I did have expressed to me that my familia is planning and plotting to take my finances. Not only are they doing it, my ex. So, and people that I walked away from who are having financial crashes after mistreating me. Well, no worries. So, and these are the same people who went above and beyond to separate me from my daughter. No worries. That's temporary. All right. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a message I sent a particular family member who has blocked me on Facebook because my family biological likes to hide in the dark. They don't like their stuff coming out, and they're wolves in sheep's clothing. So that's all right. No worries. And we'll begin. But also, what I'm going to do is after I read that to you guys, I'm going to get into a few short-term effects of childhood trauma and long-term trauma. And then we're going to get to the discussion of why do we have to keep discussing long-term effects of trauma on childhood as if there's no way to stop it. We have way too many resources from the metaphysical field as well as in the scientific field and accurate ones that can help us move forward. So, first we'll start with this message. And for all those flying monkeys who are watching, thank you very much. You have no idea how much you have helped me grow. At first, I was afraid of, I was ashamed of my past, but at the same, no, not anymore. Because if it wasn't for everything that I experienced growing up with you folks, I would not be as wise as I am today. All right. So this message was sent on my daughter's birthday. Yes. November 23rd. Hold on. Let me try. I'm going to get more specific because I do have a feeling that someone's going to try to keep receipts. No worries. I don't remember what time. Hold on. I don't know what this password is. But I can always put that in the comments later. We're just going to read this message, right? It's Spain. I know Lyric is with you. Please let her know her mommy loves her dearly and wishes her the best of the bestest of all things. I am writing to let you know I am releasing any negative feelings about the past that has taken place. It broke my heart when you supported my abusive ex on June 30th, 2020. It was a blessing in disguise because y'all showed me that I needed more self care to balance out my health overall so that I can make peace with my past, release the negative connotations that I associated it with, and grow with the wisdom that has made me into an unapologetic goddess. You taught me some of my biggest lessons thus far by simply watching you cause your own inner suffering. To not let my desires blind me from how my actions impact others, and to be mindful of the ripple effect that comes back to the sender. It is unavoidable no matter how much we try to run from it. There's always truth in a lie, and it will always be brought to light. And in the end, the truth sets us free. It is narcissistic to push our belief systems on another to the extent of gaining a false sense of power. And the person you're really destroying is yourself from beginning to end. You help me recognize how victorious I am in pursuing my destiny with my daughter when you and others attempted to control me to keep me small. In reality, you treat yourself this way, and I hope that you learn from this. Karma is real. I had to right my wrongs in order to completely love all of me while accepting the things that once seemed unworthy of me. I hope that you are able to liberate yourself as such. This freedom that self forgiveness has granted me allows me to have deep compassion for you, understanding and overstanding that continues to evolve each day. I truly miss my daughter. William denies me any access to her in all forms. I am intuitively aware you are continuing this mad practice that will eventually boomerang back to you in an unexpected nature. I have tried to understand why you would go out of your way to sabotage someone who had no ill intentions toward you, and then lie blasphemy on them when they accepted you just as you are, even the things you hate about yourself. Then I understood that you feel this way about yourself deep down and project your deep unhealed pain onto others. I wish you knew how to truly love yourself unconditionally. With all that I continue to learn about you, the story remains the same. You let your pain run the show. That has never been my weight to carry. Free yourself. When I walked away from you and William, the manifestations that were my birthright chased me down. They continue to do so, and for generations to come. I am not ashamed of my brilliance, kindness, and healthy boundaries. I have always been a free spirit, and it takes work to love yourself when others who are full of self hate project the reality upon you. I hope you experience courage of the sort. Lyric is my birthright, and I trust spirit more than I did a moment ago, which was a lot. You gave me great wisdom in the past. Do not put the carriage before the horse. Patience and authenticity of my true essence is honing a graceful perseverance that I always knew I had. Your actions made me very aware of victimhood concepts I carried, and I am unafraid to admit my healing journey to bliss is always ongoing. I'm hoping you experience your own unique healing journey. If you choose not to commit to ripping the mask off you wear, you will live with many regrets. There are no negative emotions anymore. It's never too late to follow the path of destiny. Bitterness is your fated path, and it can really disharmonize your family unit in ways that will unnerve your career. Just a warning. I wish you love and goodwill. The chapter of our life is officially over, and I will be united with my daughter again, and I will still treat you the way you deserve to be treated. So, also said a little bit more as well. But the point I'm trying to make is what the signs I noticed early in the beginning stages of when people, my family was plotting to take my daughter from me because I'm so outside the box, the black sheep of the family. There was definite signs, warnings, and things of that nature. But it became more apparent to my face when my ex and the family teamed up together on me in court during a time where my dark night of the soul experience was whew. I was houseless, healing from mental instability, emotional instability. I was clearing out childhood trauma, which and recent trauma. So this is where we get into it. There's no reason that a bunch of adults should be having to reparent themselves in adulthood from childhood traumas. Okay. One of my videos I put out was you're a shitty parent if you're continuing generational cycles. Okay. Take it how you will. But we're at a point of awareness now that if you realize you're doing something in this moment that can negatively impact your child, and they're going to have to, if they decide to heal, they're going to have to do it independently. Just know there is risk of you not having a relationship with your child, and not out of fear, but do not expect to reap the rewards of your child's healing when you aren't doing your own healing. So, short term effects of trauma on children: damaged sense of self worth. And that is a big deal in this society. You have people who are saying, "Yeah, I love myself." They dress nice. They seem to know what to say and how to act and what to do. But if you truly look below the surface in a psychological manner, they're not really at peace. They're very, very chaotic inside, and so people feel that energy. Um, that's why people naturally gravitate toward peaceful individuals. And if you're a peaceful individual, get good at setting healthy boundaries, but not from a place of I have to have walls up. And this is something I'm working on because I had to. I at first I was in this place of my closed heart chakras closed, walls up, and I wasn't able to attract healthy, positive, loving relationships. But also I had the imprint of trauma on me, so I was attracting negative people if I was even letting my walls down for even a moment. But also, it's like I was keeping out anything good, not only bad. So um, just know you can still be peaceful and have an open heart and unconditionally loving while not taking bullshit. Okay. So we'll go back to that damaged sense of self worth. A damaged sense of self worth really hurts people more than they're aware of. I mean, people don't take it into consideration how they view themselves and how it negatively impacts their environment, not only just the insides. So if you don't have a good sense of self-worth and you're home and you have a family, more than likely, even if it's not obvious, you're causing chaos and you're not knowing it. Maybe you're being controlling, maybe you're being a tyrant in not obvious ways. And it's time to get to that point where instead of looking at it as like, oh, I'm a terror, I don't want to deal with that part of myself, it's too painful. Yes, it's painful, but you could go to the doctor and get medicine for the body pains from the traumas of childhood that you're experiencing, and it will only minimize. Wait, I wrote that down. It will only temporarily minimize the symptoms of discomfort you're experiencing. Or you can just get to the root of it instead of walking around envious that someone else is healthy, happy, joyous, abundant. When you can basically heal yourself, attract what you deserve, and know that you're protected and from your birthright and your destiny, and that all is well. Great. So I'm going to leave it a damaged sense of self-worth, because if that really triggered someone, then you have to start finding resources to heal it. Okay? We think for ourselves here. All right? It also, a short-term effect, it causes children to cave into peer pressure. So if you have a child who's like full of trauma stored in their blood and their tissues and things of that nature, then they're going to school around other kids who are traumatized, and sometimes trauma may present itself as I'm the leader of the group and we're going to go do this, and these little small things lead up to big things. So it is not always in your face. Some things are covert as fuck, and it's time for us to be aware that we have to talk about the covertness that is happening in this world, instead of trying to say, well, I don't have any proof that it's happening. Fucking talk about it, okay? But caving into peer pressure can lead to making unhealthy choices that go against a person's soul. that and it's sad that we're in a society where people think, oh yeah, I just like to drink to unwind, or health issues is normal in my family. No, that doesn't have to be normal, okay? All right. So I want you to do your own research on caving to peer pressure. Don't follow me. I'm not following you. We stand side by side. This is your journey, all right? And it also, another short term effect is it makes it so children are easy to manipulate. So if you're okay with having your child walk around easily manipulated, something's wrong there, okay? If you feel, well, I'm just trying to show them the way and I just want them to see my perspective in this moment, something's obviously up with that, okay? Because you need to let your child express themselves freely. Stop putting children in a box. If you're a free spirit like me and a rebel, you are going to run as far away from these people as you possibly can. And so I'm also gonna briefly cover a long-term effect on trauma of children. Repeating generational curses. Come on, this is getting way too old to be doing that, all right? It's getting so to the point that you have to ask yourself, ah, I there's no reason I want a better life for my child, but it's not simply not happening. So and another thing, it's time for start really voicing the covert things that are happening behind the scenes. Okay, my biological family has a poverty conscious so much to the point that they think that what they're doing is justified. Um, my ex and whoever has worked with are so malignant towards themselves and others, and in such a dark place that they think trying to take things from me is going to break me or take my spirit or make me not smile. I am naturally going to be me at a core level. And the thing is, I'm grateful to be the black sheep. I'm grateful to not have fit in with you guys because I would have been miserable. I remember being 7 in my grandmother's house, lying on the floor, bored out of my mind, ready to just reincarnate into something better, And I was just lying there on the floor. We've been doing the same thing. We were going to church more than we were doing self-care. It was school stuff. It was, well, we don't have it this time. Um, it was watching TV, hoping to get something from them. And it's like when the TV went off, it was like, they're having an exciting life, but here I am doing the same thing, hearing about racism, prejudiceness, hearing about drama. And at that time, at 7, I was like, there has to be more to life than this, okay? So I'm laying on the floor, bored out of my mind, wanting to cry, and ready to just cross over because at that time, it was just like, oh my gosh. There has to be something better than this. So every day from I try to get up, I find something to be happy about. I got naturally high off of life with the fresh air, but then the reality hit me. We're going back to the same routine, the same melancholy. Um, my mother felt she was losing me at that point because she kept putting me in boxes, abusing me. She was trying to lay off at the time because she started to see how she wasn't able to connect with me and how she saw her life was being not being satisfactory. My sister was starting to experience things I don't even know she was experiencing, but at the time I wanted some place to fit in so bad and I didn't realize why I didn't fit in. And my sister was like, "No, leave me alone." But I didn't understand that. I didn't know boundaries at the time, and nor did my sister. It's like no, boundaries did not exist in our family. So at the time, it's like I was trying to be something different while I'd go into who I was naturally and I'd feel bad about myself because people around me were like, who do you think you are? Why are you doing that? But, ooh, I'll take a little bit of your energy. at the time because my energy was so strong as a young child, and I didn't know how shiny and bright I was by the people around me, not only family but bullies at school who were just like, "Oh my gosh, she's so fucking weird, but let me just feel good around her and make her feel bad." And this happened so much that I for a while I thought something was wrong with me. I really believe that for me to belong into a group, I had to have these people around me. And so when I got older, I finally was like, okay, all right. Well, since I'm alone most of the time, I'll get with a group of people, and it just doesn't will pan out or work out. I'm just going to start being okay with myself. This is a long journey. It took me last year to start this journey officially of accepting that it's okay to be with myself, and I'm enjoying being an introvert, and I'm very talkative. So when I feel like talking, I say I'm gonna share some knowledge with you folks, so we can move forward. And during this time, my throat chakra was really blocked because I had not known that my truth is important. So during the time where my daughter was strategically being extracted from me, there was so many crazy making tactics going on between my daughter's father and my family and the people around me that and also outside forces and entities and things like that, and the spiritual warfare was real because when I started to embark on my spiritual journey, it was a really bad dark night of the soul. It was very painful to go through alone. At that time I'd been alone for so long, and I was like, I'm already going through something painful. I mean, the past seemed even easier than going through the pain, and I'm now able to physically see the benefits of sacrificing what did not serve me. But during that time, when my intuition was telling me something is happening, something is being put together to see you fail. And then when my daughter was um taken from me, I was like, okay, well, what did I do wrong? And now I'm at to the point where I'm seeing I didn't do anything wrong. These people just really wanted to see me not be happy. I mean, they tried to take everything from me. My my light, my energy, my child, my money. I've had money taken from me, and I've had almost everything ripped from me. And so it's like I'm at a point now where I'm like, okay, I have everything because you can't take anything from me. So if you flying monkeys out here are watching and you're thinking, oh, what did she just say? Yes, I said it. I know exactly what you're up to. I do not give a flying fuck if you feel some kind of way. But no longer am I going to be quiet about the covert things that are going on. We should not have to live in a society where it's like, well, there's no proof in this moment, so it's not true. You guys are sneaky and greedy as fuck. And I can understand the psychological reasons behind it, the generational curses behind it. I can understand it from so many point of views, and I'm still learning different perspectives to understand it. At the same time, it's not going to fly. It's not going to fly here. You're not welcome with that bullshit. So what I'm going to say to you is, I hope that you find your purpose. And if you don't find your purpose, it's okay. I'm not mad at you anymore because if it wasn't for you, I would not have become this wise. Well, actually, I take that back. I'm not going to give you that much credit. I was destined to become wise anyway. But the lessons and the experiences I had with you, and I take accountability for the roles I played in it as well, I am seeing that it all has served a purpose. I mean, a week ago, I would have been angry as fuck. But now I'm just like, okay, that's all good. You want to know why? Because at the end of the day, I know who I am. You can blast in my name. You can talk shit about me behind my back. You can lie about me. You can call me crazy. You can do every goddamn thing under the sun. And you can try to take from me. However, which is with as much as I'm learning, and I know I don't know everything, with the universal laws, what you put out, you're getting back. And I am so protected by God, source, the universe, ancestors, all love and light beings who would do no harm to me or through me. So much to the point. I'm going to call you fuckers out. You guys need to stop your shit, okay? If you think you're really going through it now, you're really going to be going through it, okay? You wanted to see me work myself to the bone to get my daughter back so my heart could give out. And you know what? My heart's stronger than ever now. I am not afraid of anything that you will do. I even learned how to set boundaries with myself so that I don't overwork myself. And I acknowledge that I am a Wonder Woman and I'm okay with that. And I love it. And I know that you're intimidated by it. You're intimidated by how brilliant I am and how beautiful I am. But this is my journey. You're not welcome anymore. And I truly forgive you all. But at the same time, your bullshit and sneakiness is not being accepted. You may go to church and have Bibles in your home and have the picture skew idea life. But let someone go into your home with the camera and let that camera be able to be buried into your heart, into your thoughts, into your mind. And the things that you don't want to be exposed, honey, I'm going to be honest with you. 2021 is the year where things are going to be exposed. And if you think this is just the beginning, no. The truth is going to come out. People who walk around with masks, no one wants to be around you. You're so fake, false, and phony. It's obvious. But just imagine when those masks truly fall off and you will be seen for who you are. It's not a time to feel bad about who you are. It's just a time to simply say, okay, I have work I need to do. I'm not here blasting you in a negative manner. We all have negative traits about ourselves. And okay, there are people who have went from being complete tyrants to being complete fucking angels. I mean, and the fact it's not for you to beat yourself up and feel shame or guilty about it. It's just you have some work to do. You have karma to pay back. And if you're not willing to do it, then you're going to continue to suffer. But if you decide to change your life and accept that what is being the lesson you're supposed to learn through these hard challenges that keep coming to you back to 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 no end, then I mean, why beat yourself up? I mean, if you are going to decide to commit to becoming a better person, that means you need to break generational curses that are no longer serving you and keep an open mind. And I know somebody say, what you're doing is weird and why are you talking like that? I could get you flying fucks, okay? I love who I am. I'm an Aquarius in the age, in the age of Aquarius, okay? And I would like to say this. It is time for everyone to be able to express themselves authentically and freely. It is time for people to heal, okay? It is time for everyone to shine in their own unique way. And if you feel that you're not worthy of your own unique shine and you want to be a part of someone else's shine, that is a symptom of a short-term symptom that turned long-term from childhood trauma where you felt you were not worthy. Well, here we go, piggybacking to childhood trauma. And there's a lot of adults parading as these responsible people, integrity filled people who are walking around hurt and traumatized. And I understand how we got to that point. But now is the time of self awareness to change it. Because not only is it you that is going to have to deal with this, it's your child. What if the actions you do today negatively impact your children and your children's children and children's children? How would you feel if one of them, those children, were looking to see who their ancestors were, to see why am I going through so much hell in this moment, and somehow you're called to them to tell them, I made a really bad decision that I see now that after death, I regret it greatly. I wish I had been more thoughtful and kind and considerate of others on a whole massive scale instead of so desiring what I wanted in that moment that wasn't mine to want. I didn't know what I truly wanted at a heart's desire because I didn't take the time to know myself. And because of it, the actions I took were very adverse, and so negative to the point that I caused a chain effect that has negatively impacted you, and I'm sorry. You know, you got to think about stuff like that. So we're combining science, we're combining health, we're combining psychology, we're combining metaphysics, we're combining witchcraft, we're combining all this stuff because this is the age where the taboo needs to be discussed. The taboo does not even need to exist in such a scary way. It is what it is. Everything is interconnected. We are all one. And if we act as if we're separate, we are all going to suffer deeply. So I want you today to think about what are my actions in this very moment? How is it going to positively or negatively contribute to the future generations that come after me? And keep in mind, it's time to start talking about the covert stuff that is happening in the background that people don't want to talk about. That because there's no factual basis to back it up, or, well, I know your intuition said this, but we don't exactly have paperwork to prove it, or we weren't there and you weren't there, so you don't know. Um, it shouldn't have to be where you end up on a Lifetime movie escaping from an abusive lover, as I did, to know that abuse is happening. Okay, um, it shouldn't have to be where you go to court to get custody of your daughter, and, well, I was trying to get full custody at the time, and I'm so grateful I didn't get her because I wasn't ready for her. In fact, I have so much healing to do. I had been taking care of so many people for so long. I had neglected myself to the point that I didn't even know my worth. That I realized the way I was moving so fast, I wouldn't have lived long. So I see why things happen the way they happen. I'm not upset about it, not anymore. And it's like now I'm to the point where but what was really shocking for me was I had an inkling that the people who or my biological family would be helping my ex, and these biological family members were there helping me defend myself against the ex to get a restraining order. So the individual who that letter I read, she knows who she is, and I know you have your people watching. Yes, she was there driving me to court from one city to another. She was there helping me with child care, and she was doing a whole lot of stuff. But then I started to realize it wasn't from a place of genuineness, and it's okay. It's okay because now I can truly say thank you. And I, from a place of gratitude to the point where thank you for all that you have done, everything that you've done for me and my daughter. And I do not accept, I accept what happened, and I will not allow the negativity that you spread in my life or in my daughter's life, even from afar. Okay. And we're good though. And to my sister, who is a greedy ass, no offense to Capricorns, because I have a bunch of Capricorn in my chart. A greedy ass Capricorn who doesn't know how to stay in her own goddamn lane and who abuses her son in ways that the world can't see. But that's why he's walking around more confused than ever about who he truly is at a core level. The more you keep wanting and pining after things that are not yours, they'll stay so far away from you. It's going to feel as if you're a dry well. And I really hate to put that out there. But honey, you have no idea what you've gotten yourself into the more you keep digging this hole of envy. And to all those who it took for me to walk away from, because I've given you so many chances for, and it took for me to walk away from you to see, oh my gosh, I love having her around. She's great. She brings all this great stuff to the table. My value is not based on my abundance. I matter because I exist simply. And I hope you know what that feels like. Exactly. So I'm calling all of you out. My daughter's father and his family. Your magic has no effect over here. In fact, if you're seeing it boomerang back to you in weird dysfunctional ways, well, let that be. You've been getting signs to stop. If you are so determined to see me unhappy and not smiling, well, you know what? You failed and you always will fail. And there's nothing wrong with failing. Maybe it's just time for you to set your sights on something else better. At least you tried, but obviously what you're doing isn't working because you're not being true to yourself. You're not taking the time to go within. And if you all just went within, you wouldn't have to worry about what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, when I'm doing it, what I have, who I'm around, what material possessions I have. How can I do this and that to cause or disharmony? Because I will always have peace. I am unshakable tranquility in the eye of the storm. So I hope that inspired some of you to say, hey, if you're in some type of karmic situations where it's just like you feel stuck and you don't know where to go or how to move, know that you can get out of it because these individuals that I'm speaking to who are watching this message, you can't break me. And they can't break you. You have the power to walk away from them. I want you guys to look up the laws of the universe. What you try to run from chases you down, but what you naturally are will just naturally be attracted to you. So if you try to avoid something, you'll notice you get most of it back. I used to try to avoid negative people so much to the point because I wanted peace, and I realized, okay, I'm supposed to be learning a lesson here. They're showing me that I'm gifted. And I had to realize that I was shaming my gifts because I felt that if I used my gifts and abilities, it would mean, okay, I'm going to get used again. No, my vibration changes, so things change. I change within, so my outer world changes. It's time to take your power back, people. And for those who want to take people's power, well, welcome to the new world, baby.